नमस्कार टीएनसी लाइव में आप सभी का हार्दिक स्वागत है। मैं हूं राघव और आप देख रहे हैं टीएनसी लाइव। टुडे इन आमने सामने वी हैव अ वेरी स्पेशल गेस्ट विद अस हु इज पद्मश्री, educator, author, choreographer, and much more. So we have with us Miss Pratibha Prahlad. Pranam. Your mic is muted actually.
No, I think
Yes.
it's okay now. Yeah.
Yeah. So, very warm welcome to our program, to our show. And
Thank you.
yeah, so in a starting, I just want to know because at the age of 4, you have started learning uh, Bharatanatyam dance. And how did you decide at the age of 4 that you decided yourself that you will be going to dance, first of all?
So I believe that sometimes, I mean, most times, destiny plays a very big role in one's life, and consciously or unconsciously, you take decisions or you do things which lead you on the path to fulfilling your destiny. So in that context, there was a dance teacher who lived, near my house when I was very young, and my parents used to work, and they used to go to work. So there would be nobody in the house except the maid. And after I came back from school, which was like in the afternoon, I was free, and then I would just run to this dance teacher's house, and there used to be a lot of dancers, young students learning dance, and it was exciting because for me to be in the midst of all those teenage girls, looking at their dance, looking at the dance teacher, hearing the tactically the rhythm was very very exciting. So I used to just spend every afternoon there, and it just so happened that if, after about a couple of like 1.5 years or something, there was a performance that all these girls were supposed to do. So when the girls were asked to dance, one or two of them made mistakes. So my teacher's guru, an old man, a senior man at that time, his name was Lokaya, and was a very popular dance teacher. I didn't know. He said, "Ask the Bobcat girl to dance. I'm sure she will know, this particular dance because she's been watching so intently." So they asked me, and I knew the dance, and I danced, and I was, barely five and a half, 6. So he told my teacher that I should go on stage and do one item, in this performance, and that was how I kind of stepped on stage at age 6. And I remember my teacher telling me that I should go and tell my mother that I had to get 10 rupees for the costume hire, and 10 rupees for the geje, the jingles, the gunguru that one wears. So she said, you must bring 20 rupees. So I went and asked my mother for 20 rupees, and and she was so surprised, and she said, why? And then she came to see, um, my teacher, my dance teacher, who I'd not even started formally. I started only then. And that was how my journey in the dance world began.
Wonderful. That was a great at the age of 4, then five and a half. You have performed well. Um, laterally, later on when you performing on stage and all. Okay, I'm directly coming to that question. Okay, which was also very near to your heart when you have performed in the age of 17 in Osho Ashram, Pune, in the front of Osho, when Ma Neelam was there, because uh, we have Sanjay Patel here, okay, who is telling us about this. So we would like to know about that also, because that was also a wonderful moment of your life when you first got a chance to perform in ashram. What was the
So,
moment was there?
so it was not at 17. I think I was about 24 or 25 when I performed in in the ashram in Pune, and it was a huge privilege because Osho was alive at that time. He was there, and he was in the ashram in Pune. And I remember that hall, Gautam Buddha Hall, where I performed. Ma Neelam was there. I mean, and she was such a beautiful lady, such a beautiful, wonderful lady. And when I got an invitation to perform, I was thrilled actually because I'd been reading books of Osho since my teenage years. Like I think most teenage youngsters from South India, they read Krishnamurti, J. Krishnamurti, Osho, Bhagwan Rajneesh. So I had read books, and I had huge admiration for him because I always thought of him as a great intellectual. And some of his books, like India My Love, like the Dialogue with the God of Death, I'll never forget, because those are books that I keep revisiting whenever I have questions about life, when I have questions about my own situation, or any existential crisis. I keep revisiting those books. So I mean, I was a great admirer, and I was so thrilled to go to that play, to the ashram at that time. And the ashram was buzzing. It had so many people, I still remember. And and at the Gautam Buddha Hall, it was a packed auditorium, a packed audience. And they loved me, and I loved them. So it was a very, very lovely experience. And I have performed for the Osho ashram after that also. After Bhagwan Rajneesh left his body, I had gone back because Ma Sadhana and had invited me, and others had invited me. And of course, Swami Chaitanya Kirti is a very, very close friend of mine. And when they started the Osho ashram in Delhi, I was invited to inaugurate the ashram. And I have also gone and inaugurated the book exhibition of Osho in Pragati Maidan. So I have a very deep and what do I say, a very spiritual bond with Bhagwan Osho, and with all the people from the ashram.
या एक प्रश्न मैं आपसे हिंदी में पूछना चाहूंगा। लाइक जब आप पहली बार ओशो से मिले, आपने उनको अपने सामने देखा, तो आपके मन में क्या था? दैट हाउ मोमेंट वाज देयर? हाउ वाज इट फीलिंग?
अच्छा, उस वक्त तो मैं, जैसे मैंने कहा, मैं थोड़ा, आई मीन, मैं तो यंग थी, तो ओशो का जो घर था वो पीछे था, आश्रम के पीछे. If I don't know if you have been there, so you would know. And माँ नीलम ने मुझे लेके गई वहाँ पर उनके दर्शन के लिए. She had told him that I was dancing, and that I had come and I was a guest. So that I wish to, I mean, meet him. So मैं गई. He was extremely casual. I mean, there were no airs about him. And um, कुछ लोग होते हैं जो अपने आप को बहुत यू नो सुपीरियर समझते हैं, है ना? तो वैसे कुछ भी नहीं था ओशो के आसपास में. एंड एवरीथिंग वाज वेरी काम, एंड वेरी casual and very nice. So he made me sit down. He asked me to drink something. He asked me to eat something. He asked me whether I was comfortable in the ashram and things like that. So it was, to me, the memories of this great man are of a man who was extremely kind and courteous to me.
ब्यूटीफुल। दैट मीन्स के उन्होंने आपका पूरा ख्याल रखा, और कह सकते हैं कि इतना बड़ा प्रसाद आपको मिला, बिकॉज सब किसी के, हर किसी के सौभाग्य में ओशो से मिलना नहीं लिखा हुआ। तो आगे चलते हुए मैं एक बात और कहना चाहूंगा आपसे। जब आपने परफॉर्म किया फर्स्ट टाइम ओशो के सामने, क्या आपके मन में कोई भाव था कि जैसे लाइक हम लोग करते हैं इस तरह से, लाइक परफॉर्मेंस होता है फर्स्ट टाइम किसी ऐसे बहुत कह सकते हैं अ, बहुत बड़े गुरु ऐसे बुद्धा के सामने आप परफॉर्म करने वाले थे, तो क्या आपके मन में कोई झिझक या फिर कुछ ऐसे सवाल थे, नर्वसनेस, ऐसा कुछ आपने फील किया क्या?
वही बात ये है कि जैसे मैंने कहा, आई वॉज अबाउट 24 25 आई थिंक एट दैट टाइम, एंड मैं तो प्रोफेशनल डांसर थी। तो मैं बहुत सारी जगह उस वक्त डांस करती थी। जैसे महीने में 15 दिन में हैज टू बी ऑन टूर परफॉर्मिंग हियर एंड देयर। सो हर परफॉर्मेंस की पहले तो नर्वसनेस होता ही है। आई मीन जैसे मुझे ये बताना है कि मैंने अभी अभी तो आई मीन 10 दिन पहले बैंगलोर में परफॉर्म की। और परफॉर्मेंस के बाद आई मीन पहले तो मुझे बहुत नर्वस नर्वसनेस हो रहा था। और सब लोग बोल रहे थे कि अरे यू आर अ वेटरन, यू हैव डांस्ड फॉर 50 years, why are you feeling nervous? But the point is that for a good performer, for a serious performer, every performance is an examination. So जो ऑडियंस है नए है, स्टेज नया है, सिचुएशन नया है, माहौल नया नया है, तो आप भी नए हो, हर वक्त आप नए हो, क्योंकि you are a different person every moment. And I hadn't danced for about 8 months because of the pandemic, COVID, and so I was feeling nervous. So if I a flashback to that particular year, 87, I think. Um, I I mean, I was nervous, as nervous as I could be before a performance, but I hadn't really thought about, who I was performing for, because, um, जैसे मैंने कहा तो बहुत सारे I'm very privileged, I think, and I'm very fortunate that I have performed before many great people, persons, great gurus from different religions and different aspects of life. So I really didn't think about it. I just wanted my performance to be good. That's all. But I do remember after my performance, he gave me flowers and he was going inside, and he told me that next day I should go and do the dynamic meditation. The white robe or something, white robe dynamic meditation. So I was wondering what that was, and then a white robe came into my room, and then I went, and the next day morning, and the people dancing. So I think Osho spoke a lot about dance. He spoke a lot about how to relieve yourself through dance, and how to become one with the universe through dance. I mean, he spoke about how everything danced, like flower dances, the petals dance, the tree dances, the universe dances, and how when you dance, you become one with the elements and one with the universe. So I think he had a very deep understanding of dance, of movement. Of course, I'm a Bharatanatyam dancer, and he may not have known about classical dance, but just the idea of the body becoming one with the universe through dance was something that Osho constantly spoke about.
यस, यू आर राइट, बिकॉज ओशो ने हमेशा कहा है कि मेडिटेशन, डांस इज ऑल्सो अ फॉर्म ऑफ अ मेडिटेशन, बिकॉज जो जब हम डांस करते हैं तो मेडिटेशन ही होता है वो, हम अपनी जिंदगी की बहुत सारी नेगेटिव चीजें निकाल देते हैं। लाइक डांसर्स, मैनी डांसर्स और मैनी पीपल फील लाइक दैट कि जब उनको स्ट्रेस होता है या यूं कहे कि वो डिप्रेशन में होते हैं या कुछ ऐसा प्रॉब्लम होता है, when they dance they release negative energy and they get positive energy. So that's why ओशो ने हमेशा डांस और कला को लेकर के हमेशा ओशो ने पूरा ध्यान रखा है, हमेशा सम्मान दिया है कलाकारों को उन्होंने।
I remember one particular saying that he used to. I mean, he had said a famous thing about dance. He said that the dancer and the dance are one and the same. You know, and he said after a while the dancer disappears and becomes one with the dance. He also said that every moment of a dancer of the dance is new, because when you create some movement, the movement is born and the movement dies when you go on to the next movement. So those words are very profound, and only a very very great mind can recognize that you're forever creating and dissolving when you dance. I mean, as a constant motion of creation and dissolution.
अभी आपने जैसे बताया लाइक इन स्टार्टिंग कि व्हेन यू हैव व्हेन यू मेट ओशो, ओके, माँ नीलम आपको उनके रूम में लेके गए, वहाँ आप मिले, उन्होंने बहुत आपको कंफर्टेबल किया, ओके, आपका पूरा ख्याल रखा। तो उस मुलाकात के बाद क्या कभी और भी ऐसा कभी सौभाग्य प्राप्त हुआ आपको व्हेन यू मेट सेकंड टाइम टू ओशो?
No, because sadly, you know what happened after that, and uh, Osho left his body, and you know, then there was a chaos in the ashram also. The ashram split, but I did go back to the ashram to perform. Ma Sadhana had invited me at that time, but Osho was had left his body by then. So I did go back and dance in the same Gautam Buddha hall. Um, and everything seemed beautiful. I mean, it was a perfect ashram. Everything was so aesthetic and so beautiful. It was like paradise, right? I mean, that the way they had done the ashram. But of course, and the energy of Osho was there. But the sadness was that by then the devotees had split, and the foreigners had mostly taken over the Pune ashram.
Yes, you are right. And if we talk about like when you perform after this, when Osho left body, and then after you perform, okay, and how much? I mean, times like only one time you have performed, or many times you have performed after that
Only
Osho left
twice.
body?
Only
Only
twice.
twice.
Yeah, because I
Okay.
used to go for Pune Ganesh Festival regularly in the 90s. And that is where I met Swami Chaitanya Kirti at that time. And whenever I performed in Pune Ganesh Festival, I would also perform in the Osho Ashram. So I think twice I performed after that.
Okay. So coming up to your later life, like at the age of near about 20, or you can say 90s, you have uh, you are a founder of two, we can say, like your contribution we are talking about. And the age of 20, you are the founder of uh, Prasiddha Foundation and Art Beyond Border. That
Nee,
was your
Mavad,
great contribution.
uh, no, actually, I was not 20. I was 28. uh,
Okay.
and I was already a professional dancer, and every dancer has a dance school. Okay, she teaches dance and they have a dance school. So Prasiddha Foundation started off as my dance school. Initially, it was not any great foundation or anything. The name was Prasiddha Foundation, but other dance schools were called something to do with dance, but mine, it was registered as Prasiddha Foundation. That's the only difference. It was supposed to be my dance school, but I realized that I was in Bangalore those days, and I realized that there was a lot of problems with Bangalore dancers because they were not recognized on par with dancers from Madras or Kerala or something, or Delhi, of course. um, and all the national opportunities to dance and all the important opportunities to perform professionally went to dancers from Delhi, Chennai, for Bharatanatyam, and Hyderabad for Kuchipudi, Chennai, Hyderabad for Kuchipudi. Those days it was Madras. So yeah, so then I kept wondering why Bangalore was never considered. When these kind of lineups happened, and I realized that somewhere Bangalore being a very very nice place, in the sense that people of Bangalore are nice. They are very unambitious, they're very non-aggressive, and जो हम बोलते हैं सभ्यता, संस्कृति, वो सब है जो बैंगलोर के लोग, बैंगलोर के ओरिजिनल लोगों की इसमें लाइफस्टाइल में. So I think they were not pushy and they never promoted themselves, but they got left behind. So I decided to organize festivals, and these festivals would feature one artist from Karnataka the first half, and one national level artist the second half, so that I wanted people to see for themselves that artists from Karnataka were as good as the best of the artists from India. So that is when I started organizing festivals through Prasiddha Foundation. Uh, it was called Sharad Vaibhava, initially, and then I had another festival added to it called Eka Aneka, one for all and all for one. And then the third festival was Hampi, at Hampi, Vijayotsav, the Hampi tourism festival. So these things I started in the 90s, and throughout the 90s I kept organizing this. And uh, you know about 2000 I came to Delhi. I was in Delhi mostly, and I started Forum for Art Beyond Borders only in 2007, because at that time we wanted to start the Delhi International Arts Festival. Delhi International Arts Festival is India's biggest arts festival. It is to happen simultaneously in about 35 venues, and all forms of art, from classical to traditional to folk to contemporary, and all genres of art like music, dance, theater, painting, sculpture, cinema, everything. So, because of the largeness of the festival, we needed the collaboration of the government. And the government of NCT of Delhi was willing to collaborate only with an organization registered in Delhi. So that is why we started Forum for Art Beyond Borders in 2007. तो ये दोनों या है मेरी organizations, and we do a lot of collaborative engagements in the field of culture and arts, with many international festivals, with many international artists, with nationally renowned artists also from India, and we also give opportunities to many young artists, so that they also are able to acquire national recognition and fame. So there are, I also engage with students in colleges and schools, because I think it's very important to be touched by art. एंड मैं अभी भी बोलूँगी आपके पास आपको आपको कि um, जिन जिन you know uh, people who are touched by art, who have a life, not maybe not of a professional artist, but who know about art. They are different people, because art changes you from within. Art makes you more humane, more sensitive, more responsive to the world around you. And by virtue of that, it makes the community better, it makes society better, and it makes the country a better place. So I really believe that to be a beautiful country, to be a world class country, you have to have art in your everyday life. Otherwise, it's not possible.
Yes, you are right. One more thing I would like to ask, like you have done mass communication, okay, then you have started like directing to and acting in a television serials, okay. So uh, you have, I mean, done a lot of things in your life, okay. So could you tell us about your acting and performing in serials and all?
See, when you are a dancer and you're on stage all the time, there are many people who are watching you. So I think, some performance, some articles that were written about me, MS Satyu saw, and he decided that I should act in a, movie. So I acted in as a dancer, as a palace dancer in that film, and that became successful. So then there was a serial called Shruti. He wanted me to act in that as the heroine, so as a dancer heroine, and yeah. So I said yes, I'd love to do that. And there was another series from another famous director. So in that, he also they gave me a role of a village girl because maybe I looked like a village girl, um, and it was fun, and I did it because basically I think I wanted to be a classical dancer, um, so I didn't want to um, you know digress into uh, acting at that time, but I did get a lot of offers in cinema, both Kannada, Hindi cinema, Kannada cinema, and serials. And I chose a few. I did it. Okay, fine, and I kind of gave it up, because I was so busy, like I said, performing, and I was enjoying my performances so much. I loved dancing so much, so I just wanted to concentrate on Bharatanatyam and Kuchipudi, and I really wanted that to be my life.
ओके, क्या आप मुझे बताएंगे लाइक आपने जो है मास कम्युनिकेशन किया, बिकॉज आप डांसर, एक बहुत अच्छे कुचिपुड़ी और भरतनाट्यम डांसर आप हैं, तो आपने ऐसे में एक मास कम्युनिकेशन करने के लिए क्यों सोचा? बिकॉज दैट इज अ डिफरेंट फील्ड, ऑल टुगेदर डिफरेंट
So
फील्ड.
my parents were both uh, master's degree holders, so they knew that they wanted me to do IAS exam or IFS exam. I mean, sit for by civil service exams, and do something like that because I was a ranker, meaning I got very good marks. Um, and so my mother, when I told her I want to be a professional dancer, she said everybody in our family has a master's degree, so you have to have a master's degree. There's no way that you can take up this profession and forget about your studies, so you have to have a master's degree. So mass communication was a new subject then, and soon after I finished my college, I did my entrance exam and I got into mass communication, so it was fun. I did that. I also got a job in NDTV as an anchor, which I refused. But then I've written many articles and papers. uh, it gave me an experience into the world of media, and I'm grateful for that because exposure and experience is priceless. I worked in Doordarshan as a production assistant, not just for my internship, but much later, also regularly to earn money for 15 days a month. I used to get money and I would take that money and go to Chennai to learn dance. So it kind of gave me so much exposure and so many opportunities. And I think that, uh, when you write a lot, when you're able to read, write, you understand, media, you're a better communicator. And as a dancer, my whole purpose was to be a good communicator. So I think mass communication helped me become a vocal verbal communicator, in addition to my own gestures and expressions that I had through my dance.
Beautiful. If we coming up to like on your books, okay, तो आप हमें बताएंगे लाइक एक, बिकॉज यू आर अ डांसर एंड आपने एक किताब भी लिखी है डांस के ऊपर, सो वी वुड लाइक टू नो अबाउट दैट बिकॉज दैट वाज द सेकंड बेस्ट सेलर, okay, for 10 years on Amazon, and we would like to know about that also.
So again, when really horrible things happen to you, God gives you, a window of opportunity to prove yourself. So I was going through a very tough time in my life when someone approached me and said that there was going to be a series of books, and can I write about Bharatanatyam? I said yes, I would love to. So I, wrote that book, and like you said, it kind of remained on Amazon as the number one bestseller actually for classical dance, for more than 10 years. So, well, that was nice. But I also have written, books on other topics. I have done, the preface for some books, and I've contributed to serious books on culture, uh, the theory of rasa, the idea of communication through dance, the treatment of Indian classical dance in cinema, those kinds of topics also. And I'm right now also, writing two books, so it is in the pipeline, and probably I'll release it next year. So yeah.
You have won many awards, but there is a one most prestigious award, Padma Shri. So we want to know about that also, because how do you get it? Okay, and when they announce or they called you, because मुझे पता है पद्मश्री के लिए पहले कॉल आता बकायदा, we would like to give you पद्मश्री. Okay, if you are accepting, then आपको वो दिया जाता. So what was that moment? We would like to know about whole the story about this
So,
Padmashri.
I got my Central Sangeet Natak Academy Award in 2001. I was among the youngest dancers to get that Sangeet Natak Academy Award. So, when you get the Sangeet Natak Academy Award, the Ministry of Culture recommends your name for Padma Award automatically. All those who get the Academy Award are recommended for Padma Award. So my name was recommended every year for the Padma Award, but I didn't get it because I didn't lobby or I didn't ask anybody. And I think there's a lot of other things were happening at that time, politics or whatever, about getting this award. So I kind of just, a lot of my juniors, people less known than me, all of them got the award. And I would say, and every year people say, "Oh, even this year you didn't get the award," and I would say, "I don't, no, I didn't, and I don't know when it's going to happen." So I mean, suddenly when in 2015, I was talking to some people, and Dr. Murli Manohar Joshi introduced me as a, you know, Padma Shri. So I just looked at him and said, "Sir, I haven't got it." He says, "You haven't got Padma Shri?" I said, "No, sir, I haven't got it." So he said, "How is that possible? I'm going to recommend you right away." So he recommended me for Padma Bhushan. And the same thing with Shushma Swarajji. So she was surprised that I hadn't got the Padma Shri, and she said, "You should get Padma Bhushan." And so she recommended me for Padma Bhushan too. And Sumitra Mahajan was the speaker at that time, and Madam also recommended me. So I knew that the recommendations had gone, but I was not sure whether it'll come through, because you never know. Because I know that every year my name is to go for, to the Ministry of Culture, but I had never got it. Then I kind of TK. So I think on the 25th of January or something, I was going to go to Chennai the next day for a performance. So I got a call, um, 24th of January, and I got a call, and the person said, मैं Ministry of Home से बात कर रहा हूँ and all that. I said okay. So then he said, "Ma'am, congratulations, आपको पद्म श्री के लिए recommend हुआ है, and will you take it?" So I said, "Of course." I mean, why would I say no? Why would I say no? But I think he was asking me because my name had gone for Padma Bhushan, but I was getting Padma Shri, and he wanted to know whether I was going to accept the award. And he twice he said, second time also he said, "Ma'am, आप accept कर रहे हो award?" I said, "Of course, मैं accept कर रही हूँ. Thank you so much. It's such an honor." And that is how it happened. And the next day it was in the papers, and there were lots and lots of people calling me. But I was on my way to Chennai, so my phone was switched off. I couldn't hear a lot of people, and so I kind of waited for my performance to get over the next day in Chennai. I came back, and only then I started responding to people, and said thank you for all the millions of messages I got from all over the world. So I was happy, and I was grateful, and I actually think that in life there are many times somebody feels that you need this, you deserve this, you need to get this, but all these decisions are made by God and destiny, and you have to trust your destiny, and you have to trust God. Otherwise you'll never be happy in life, and the most important thing is to be happy. And so I was extremely grateful and happy.
Yes, you're right. And one more thing I would like to say on this, like जब भी किसी कलाकार को प्रोत्साहन दिया जाता है, तो शायद उस प्रोत्साहन की जरूरत तो हर किसी को होती ही है, खैर। लेकिन जब कलाकार को उसके पारितोषिक के रूप में जब उसे सम्मान दिया जाता है, तब उससे जो उसकी जो फीलिंग होती है वो बिल्कुल अलग होती है। क्योंकि जो आप कर रहे हैं और इतने अच्छे सम्मान से आपको जब सम्मानित किया जा रहा है, तो उनको लगता है कि हाँ, जो मैंने किया, उसे और ज़्यादा कर गुज़रने की इच्छा अपने अंदर आ जाती है।
That's true.
जी, आपके और बहुत सारे ऐसे अवार्ड्स हैं, उनको लेकर के अगर हम बात करेंगे, तो मैं आपको सिर्फ़ यही कहना चाहूँगा, लाइक इंदिरा गांधी प्रियदर्शनी अवार्ड आपको मिला। इसके अलावा कला शिरोमणि अ, पुरस्कार आपको दिया गया। अ, जो आपको और बहुत सारे महिला शिरोमणि पुरस्कार मिला आपको। नत्या भारती जो है आपको पुरस्कार मिला। उड़ीसा केयर क्लिनिक्स अवार्ड आपको मिला फॉर द बेस्ट डांसर इन भुवनेश्वर। और कई सारे ऐसे अवार्ड्स आपको दिए गए। तो मैं अगर बाकी अवार्ड्स की बात करूँ, तो अवार्ड्स तो आपके पास में बहुत सारे आपको मिले हैं आपके जीवन में। लेकिन मैं ये कहूँगा कि किसी जैसे खास तौर पे जो प्रियदर्शनी अवार्ड है, वो एक अलग अहमियत रखता है जीवन में। लाइक इट्स अ ग्रेट अवार्ड। व्हेन यू गॉट दैट अवार्ड, हाउ वाज द फीलिंग?
Indira Pradeshni Award, Mahila Shiromani Award, Bharat Shiromani Award. I got much later than that. So there are lots of awards, like you said. So they were all, exciting, nice, lovely. Like you said, every award uh, it's a humbling experience because it's an experience where you suddenly feel that somebody is noticing your work, somebody is appreciating your work, and somebody feels that whatever you've done is worthwhile, to society, and that is why they are awarding you, and that is a very very special feeling. But I used to organize this festival. I started the festival in Hampi called the Hampi Vijayotsav. I told you, the National Tourism Festival. And there's a Virupaksha temple over there. Virupaksha is Shiva in Hampi. Beautiful temple, ancient temple belonging to the Vijayanagar period. So the temples, the temple priests of the Hampi, Virupaksha temple, they always do a special puja for me whenever I go there. Not because I asked them to, but because they feel that I changed, I brought art and culture back into Hampi and I brought people back there. And so they're kind of really happy about that. And they gave me an award, which was the Asthan Nartaki of Hampi Virupaksha uh, temple. So that award was very very special because it kind of I became the main the dancer, the recognized dancer of the Hampi Virupaksha temple, and it was a very very special award, I must tell you, because it's almost like God was giving me, and it was like God was telling me that your life is going on the right track. And I really, I really remember that. The priest gave it to me, the priest of the temple, and they kind of got a whole congregation, did the special puja and gave me that. So it was called Asthana Nartaki of Hampi Virupaksha temple, and yeah, that was really special.
Yes, of course, because Lord Shiva is about Natraj.
Yeah.
And if you're getting any award or anything from their temple, so it's a really great feeling. So I
Yes.
can feel like that because that is really something near to you or near to your heart. uh, if we are coming on the next things, like you are an educator too.
Well, I mean,
So
people call themselves guru. I mean, dance. A lot of dancers, they dance for about 2 3 years and they become gurus the next moment. They call themselves gurus. It's like, when did you become a guru? Because just because you're teaching dance, and then all these young dancers go on saying, "Oh, we learned from guru so and so, guru so and so, guru so and so, guru so and so." And all these gurus are in their late 20s, 30s, kind of a thing. I hated being called a guru because I have seen Mahan gurus, and my dream is to one day get the darshan of Paramaguru. So Adi Guru, Paramaguru, and I know that being called a guru is not something you know easy, or anybody can't be called a guru, and especially dance teachers. I mean, being called gurus. It's funny, those who teach music are not called gurus. Musicians are not called gurus. They're called panditas or pandits or something, or ustad or whatever. But dancers, everyone's a guru. Everyone who's teaching dance. So I said no. There has to be another word. I don't want to call myself a guru. I'll call myself an educator. I teach dance. I not only teach dance as a physical form, I teach the philosophy of dance. I teach the spirituality of dance. I teach the scriptures, the associated scriptures that we dance about, including the uh, great Mahabharata and Ramayana that we live. I mean, the stories that are part of our lives, and I also, I mean, or the Bhagavad Gita or whatever, or anything else. So I teach them all that. So since I can call myself a teacher, dance teacher, which is a fantastic thing, because I don't know why someone can't be a teacher, but I said okay, educator, because I used to travel abroad a lot, so I became an educator because I also used to give TED talks. I used to talk about Indian culture, Indian philosophy, Indian dance. You can't talk about Indian dance without talking about Indian philosophy and spirituality. That is the bottom line, because if you are a good dancer and you are actually practicing dance, you're also practicing meditation, you're practicing yoga, you're reading about the scriptures, you're reading the ritualistic practices, because a lot of the mudras in dance are those that are used in rituals also, right? And most of them are also things that you use in everyday life. So I'm an educator. I mean, where I teach dance, I teach other things, and I also give talks to people on many different aspects. um, and well, I mean, I think it's a better word than guru, because I don't see myself as a guru.
yes, one thing I would like to ask, like, if anybody, I mean, who is connected with the dance, okay, they are well connected with the music. What you think about music, a big role of our life? What is the role of
Obviously,
music?
when you're talking about classical dance, there's no classical dance without classical music. I mean, they both go together, right? So that's what I'm saying. Sculpture, whether it's be philosophy, meditation, yoga, music, sculpture, architecture, they're all part of dance. Now you can't do one without doing the other. Well, I did learn Carnatic music when I was young, and I did do a couple of exams, junior exam, senior exam. I'm not a great singer. I mean, I dare not sing actually, because I hate my voice. I can't hear my own voice, and I'm more terrified of singing than I'm terrified of dancing actually, because maybe because you don't see yourself in your dance, and you can't criticize yourself immediately, but you can hear yourself sing, and you know that, oh, this is not sounding okay. So yeah, but I do know music, of course. I know music, because without knowing music you cannot be a good dancer, nor can you be a good teacher, nor can you choreograph, because even to do choreography you need to know music.
Yes, you're right. Like, you already said, you have read many books of Osho. So You also told us like a few of books, they are well, I mean, close to your heart. You have read many times. Okay, so I just want to know what messages you feel like Osho is giving to the world.
Well, I think that one of the most important messages of Osho is to respect life, respect yourself, respect, life. He talks about life constantly, that life is a gift, and that you have to respect that gift of life and live your life purposefully. Osho also, speaks a lot about the purpose of life. What is the purpose of your life? And do you discover the purpose of your life? And he also says that, you know, that every life is precious. That, whether it be animal life or plant life or, nature or human life, every life is precious because you are part of the collective energy of the universe. And one has to feel that connection with the universe, to be connected to the world around you, to nature around you, to the universe around you. And only when you form that connection as a person, because you are not distinct as a person from nature, you're not distinct as a person from the universe, but you are one. You have to be one with the universe, whether it be a flowing river, whether it be the mountaintops, whether it be the leaves dancing in the wind, or you see a deer, animals, anything, any of the animals. You are one with nature, and you're one of the creatures that God has brought into this world. And you have to have that affinity for nature and that respect for life. I think that is one of the fundamental messages of Osho. And he also, of course, speaks about the joy, of life, the joy of giving, to give up negativity, to give up hatred, to give up all the negative emotions that one may have in their, in their system. Because to fulfill your own purpose in life and to dissolve into the universe, to dissolve into the universe, you have to give up, your negativity, because negativity is a baggage, and one has to become light, and you have to lighten yourself. So you lighten yourself by giving up negativity and by forming, happy relationships with everything that you see around you, every other living creature, living object that you see around you. And well, I mean, and he also, I mean, speaks about being easy, going with the flow of nature with your life, that you should not perforce want to do something or go after something. That if it comes to you naturally, it comes to you naturally, because your life is like a river flowing, and it meanders in different ways, in different there are ups, there are downs, there are, different pathways, but ultimately it reaches the ocean. So ultimately you'll reach uh, you know the universe. You become one with the universe. Spirituality, I think that is the most important message to me. Please correct me if I'm wrong.
No, 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 you are absolutely corrected. Because जो आपने बताया, ओशो जो है जीवन को एक सेलिब्रेशन की तरह से वो मानते हैं। उन्होंने हमेशा यही कहा है कि अपने जीवन को के हर क्षण को, जो वर्तमान रहता है, प्रेजेंस में जो है वो जीना चाहिए। एंड वी शुड लिव इन आवर मोमेंट। तो अगर हम लोग अपने जीवन को वैसे लेके चलते हैं, अगर हम लोग जो हमारा पास्ट है या हमारा आने वाला फ्यूचर है, अगर उसको सोचते रहेंगे तो हमारा जो प्रेजेंट है वो मोमेंट खत्म हो जाएगा। तो उन्होंने हमेशा बोला है दो ही चीजों को लेकर के, ध्यान और उसके अलावा प्रेम। सो लव एंड मेडिटेशन, दीज आर द टू थिंग्स। ओके, यू कैन से इट्स अ both side of, like, I mean, one side is of the coin is love and one side is meditation. So we have to go with both. If we do meditate, and then we will uh, come closer to love, and we when we love, we do closer to meditation. So these are the two things. And मुझे एक बात आपसे और पूछनी है, like you have performed more than 50 countries, in more than 50 countries. तो आपको आपकी लाइफ में बहुत सारे ऐसे इंसिडेंट्स हुए होंगे, बहुत सारी ऐसी मेमोरीज होंगी जो बिल्कुल अलग हैं। तो कोई एक या दो मेमोरीज आप अपनी शेयर करना चाहेंगे हमारे दर्शकों के साथ में, जो आपके दिल के बहुत क्लोज है?
एक्चुअली जैसे जैसे आपने कहा कि बहुत सारे मेमोरीज हैं, और अगर ऐसे सोचे तो बहुत ही सारे हैं, मगर मैं रशिया में थी 2001 में, परफॉर्म कर रही थी, एंड द रशियंस, दे लव इंडियन डांस, दे लव इंडियंस. All my performances were sold out. All the tickets were sold out, and uh, it was very special. But my mother was dying in Bangalore. She was in the ICU, and she was going through a lot of pain. Um, and before my last performance in Russia, I got a call, from the doctor, Bangalore doctor who was looking after her. And he said, "I'm very sorry to inform you that your mother has only a few hours to live." That was a shock, it came as a shock. I said, "Few hours to live, but I'm in Russia. How will I even see her? What will I do?" He said, "No, I'm very sorry. She can't. I don't think she'll survive. She only has a few hours." I wanted to speak to her, so he gave the phone to her. I was crying and bawling, and I was saying, "I'm so far away, I can't live without you, mommy." But she said, "You have a duty to your country. You're a performer. You have to put on your makeup and go on stage." And she said, "Don't worry, I'll be alive. I'll wait for you to come back. Not, just go and perform." So I was crying, and amidst tears and all that, I put on my makeup. I said, "Remember, I went to that performance. I had to do the performance because the tickets were all sold, and the ambassador of India said that it was the prestige of the country, so I could not, back out." So after the performance got over, and the anchor kept calling my name out to give flowers, but I went and sat in the green room, and I said, "No, I'm not. I don't want flowers." And when he came inside to ask me, I said, "Look, I don't know whether my mother is alive or dead, because the doctor had given her a couple of hours. It's been more than 5, 6 hours now, and I can't take flowers. I've done my duty, I've performed, but I can't take flowers." And I was crying in the green room. My musicians, I had live musicians, they came backstage, they were crying with me. So the entire audience, he went and explained to the audience what the situation was, why I was not coming to take flowers. I had a standing ovation. The entire audience gathered behind the green room, and they started writing me letters, and they started sending me flowers, and and poems and gifts. And oh, I'll never forget that. All foreigners, and many of them could not even speak English, so they were trying to communicate to me, and they all went to a church nearby, and they prayed, and they came back, and the translator said, "They all gone and prayed for your mother, that your mother has a, be safe and peaceful." And they've come to express that. So I still have some letters of them where they've said, "You're brave, you're strong, you're powerful, what a performance you gave, at a time like this, and we love you, and we're praying for your mother." And roses which they kind of kept inside little envelopes and gave it to me. Those roses have of course dried up, but I still have those envelopes and those roses. That was a very, 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 very special performance. But yeah, I did come back to India, and my mother fortunately was alive. And then the moment she saw me, she said, "Good, you finished your duty to your country, to your motherland. I'm so happy that you didn't come back halfway through." And she said, "Please now take me home, because I don't want to die in the ICU. I want to, you know die in my own home." So I took that decision, and I got her released from the hospital, and I took her home. And of course, she passed away after 3 days or 4 days, at home. So, but yeah, I'll never forget that, because it's an unforgettable kind of a moment for me.
थैंक यू सो मच. इट वाज रियली, आई फेल्ट लाइक दैट बिकॉज मुझे भी लगता है कि वो जो मोमेंट आपके माँ के साथ में जो उस समय पर डॉक्टर ने आपके लिए कहा, आपकी मदर के लिए, और उसके बाद में आप जिस प्रकार से आपने परफॉर्मेंस दिया, एंड देन आफ्टर जब आपसे उन आप उनसे मिले इंडिया आकर के, तो आई नो दैट वो फीलिंग भी एकदम अलग और ग्रेट फीलिंग रही होगी. जब आपने उनको अलाइव देखा होगा, आपने उनको देखा होगा कि वो जिंदा हैं. तो बहरहाल मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि वो शायद आपके जीवन का एकदम अलग वो मोमेंट रहा होगा. वो बहुत बहुत भावुक समय होगा जिस समय पर आप जो है अपनी मदर से उस समय पर वापस आकर के मिले थे आफ्टर दैट परफॉर्मेंस. एंड बिल्कुल ठीक, आपकी मदर ने बिल्कुल ठीक कहा कि दैट यू हैव टू डू परफॉर्म फॉर योर कंट्री. आपको अपनी देश के लिए वो जो है परफॉर्मेंस आपको देना ही था. एंड जिंदगी का सबसे बेहतर परफॉर्मेंस या वो एक ऐसा क्षण जिस समय पर आपका कोई अपना, जब लगता है आपको कि बिल्कुल दूर जा रहा है और आप असहाय हो जाते हैं अपने जीवन के उस क्षण पर, कि जहाँ पर आपको फैसला भी लेना होता है कि आपको अपने मदर के लिए देखना है या अपने उस अपने के लिए देखना है या फिर आपको कंट्री के लिए परफॉर्म करना है. तो आई थिंक सो कि जब आपने परफॉर्म किया होगा तो आपके मदर को भी वो बहुत ग्रेट फीलिंग आई होगी जब उन्हें पता चला होगा कि आपने किस प्रकार से वो परफॉर्म किया है. आई थिंक सो. कमिंग अप टू लास्ट, मैं सिर्फ आपसे अब यही जानना चाहूंगा. उसके पहले एक प्रश्न और मेरे दिमाग में आया, एक क्वेश्चन है मेरे माइंड में कि लाइक इफ समबडी वांट टू लर्न डांस फ्रॉम यू, आप अभी भी एजुकेट करते हैं या आपकी कोई ऐसी एकेडमी है जहां पर डांस सिखाया जाता है? अगर लोग जुड़ना चाहें तो वो कैसे जुड़ सकते हैं?
सो आई टीच. मैं अभी भी टीच करती हूँ डांस. मगर मैं चूज़ करती हूँ किसको टीच करना है, सबको नहीं करती. क्योंकि मैं सोचती हूँ कि मेरा टाइम बहुत कीमती है और मुझे बहुत कुछ करना है ज़िंदगी में. और अगर जो स्टूडेंट्स जो होते हैं उनको वो मेरी टाइम के लिए रिस्पेक्ट नहीं है, तो वो मेरे से सीखने के लिए लायक नहीं है. तो पहले उनको वो सोचना चाहिए कि मैम अपनी टाइम दे रही है. क्योंकि जब मैं सिखाती हूँ तो मैं पूरी ध्यान देती हूँ, सिंगल माइंडेडली. मेरी ध्यान इधर उधर नहीं होता, यू नो. तो उस टाइम के लिए रिस्पेक्ट चाहिए, तो मैं सिखाती हूँ. एंड आई ऑल्सो कोरियोग्राफ डांस, बट आई चूज हु आई टीच, लाइक आई सेड. एंड अगर कोई सीनियर स्टूडेंट्स बहुत सारे आते हैं मेरे पास, सिर्फ 2 महीने 3 महीने के लिए आते हैं, टू लर्न द फिनिशिंग काइंड ऑफ touches about dance, how to present yourself, अभिनय कैसे करना है, उसका कैसे सोचना है, कोरियोग्राफी कैसे करना है. जब वो आते हैं तो 3-4 महीने के लिए मैं उनको सिखाती हूँ. और उसके अलावा भी मेरे स्टूडेंट्स जो है वो कभी-कभी आते रहते हैं नया-नया सीखने के लिए, जो नया. मगर मैं वैसे टीचर नहीं हूँ जो रोज़ बैठ के आपका बॉडी ट्रेन करूँगी मैं, तैयार तई बोल के, आई मीन आपकी बॉडी ट्रेन करने वाला टीचर नहीं हूँ मैं. क्योंकि मेरे पास उतना वक़्त है नहीं. जैसे मैंने कहा, मैं बहुत कुछ करती हूँ और बहुत कुछ और भी करना चाहती हूँ. तो मेरे लिए जितना टाइम मेरे पास है, उस टाइम के लिए उस टाइम का मीनिंगफुल उपयोग होना चाहिए. जब कोई बहुत सीरियस है स्टूडेंट्स, उनको सिखाती हूँ.
थैंक यू सो मच अबाउट दिस. अब हम लोग आते हैं आपके आगे आने वाले जो अपकमिंग प्रोजेक्ट्स हैं या आपके गोल जो आपने जिंदगी में सोचे हैं, वो क्या हैं?
ऐसे कुछ नहीं, क्योंकि मेरी मैं हमेशा, जैसे मैंने कहा आपको कि हमारी डेस्टिनी है, तो उस डेस्टिनी को फुलफिल करना है. तो I trust in God. I trust in the universe. I trust that there is a destiny that I'm born for, born with, and that I'm here to fulfill the purpose of my life. And I hope I'll, be able to fulfill it to the best of my ability. um, ये जो होता है, आपका गोल क्या है, आप क्या चाहते हो, आप क्या करना, वो सब व्हेन यू आर 25-30 आप बात कर सकते हो, मगर जब आप सीनियर होते हो और इतने सारे देख चुके हैं, इतना सारा ज़िंदगी के बारे में समझ चुके हैं, और उस वक्त अगर अब और भी करना है, मुझे ये करना है, मुझे वो करना है, तो बहुत चाइल्डिश लगता है। जब आप वैसे बोलते हो तो बहुत इट लुक्स साउंड्स वेरी चाइल्डिश, बिकॉज आई रियली बिलीव दैट अपॉर्चुनिटीज तो आएगा ही सही, और आप उस अपॉर्चुनिटी को सही उपयोग करोगे तो ज़िंदगी आगे बढ़ेगा। एंड द पर्पस ऑफ लाइफ इज़ टू फ्लो, flow in the direction that it's taking you, whichever the direction may be. And I'm willing to, uh, you know, uh, let my life be guided and directed by my destiny and by the universe.
थैंक यू सो मच। आपसे बात करके बहुत मज़ा आया, और आपकी लाइफ को जान करके, स्पेशली ओशो से रिलेटेड, जो क्योंकि आपने ओशो को बहुत पढ़ा है, और उसको लेकर के भी मैं यहाँ पर यही बोलूँगा कि आपकी पूरी जर्नी को जैसा हम देखते हैं तो वो बेहद खूबसूरत है। बस इसी प्रकार से आप अपनी लाइफ में जो है लोगों के लिए इसी तरह से प्यार बाँटते रहें, और देश की या हमारे राष्ट्र की जिस प्रकार से आप सेवा कर रहे हैं। बिकॉज़ डांस इज़ ऑल्सो अ फॉर्म ऑफ लाइक टू कंट्रीब्यूट फ्रॉम योर साइड टू आवर नेशन। क्योंकि हमारे देश का नाम जिस प्रकार से आपका डांस परफॉर्मेंस होता है अलग-अलग कंट्रीज़ में, तो यू आर रिप्रेजेंटिंग आवर कंट्री। तो
Yes.
ऐसे ही नाम रोशन करते रहें, और आप सभी सबको जो है आपकी तरफ से इसी तरह से प्यार मिलता रहे, ऐसी मेरी कामना है आपके लिए। एंड थैंक यू सो मच। चलने से पहले कोई संदेश देना चाहेंगे क्या आप?
मैं कभी संदेश नहीं देती, मैं तो डिसाइपल हूँ, फॉर एवर डिसाइपल हूँ। संदेश देने की लायक नहीं हूँ मैं।
चलिए, थैंक यू सो मच। आपने ये
थैंक
संदेश
यू।
दिया, ये भी बहुत बड़ा संदेश है। बस मैं यही बोलूँगा कि गुरु, परमात्मा, भगवान सबका आशीर्वाद आपके जीवन में इसी प्रकार से रहे, और इसी प्रकार से हमारे राष्ट्र की आप सेवा करते रहें। आपका बहुत-बहुत शुक्रिया, प्रणाम और धन्यवाद।
थैंक यू। थैंक यू सो मच। प्रणाम।